I'm Bea.
And I'm Sam.
And we're two best friends who like to talk shit about smut, wingspan,
And sometimes books.
Join us every Wednesday for a new episode. Oh, it was a bit of a faff, wasn't it? But we're here. We got a lot more faffing coming our way.
Decorating.
Studio move. Yeah. So maybe, well, not the next time you listen to us because we're recording this week again, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then not the week after because I think we've already recorded that episode.
Yep.
But then maybe the week after that. So it's in like 4 weeks' time.
We'll be in a new studio.
We'll be in our new studio, maybe. But really, it'll be probably in the next like 2-ish weeks.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
If we can get everything and depending on like shipping times and stuff.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
We digress.
So we're back. We've literally in-person recordings too, because they don't happen now.
No.
We have a podcast, but sometimes it doesn't feel like we really do because we don't really see each other that much recently.
I haven't spoken to you recently.
I haven't spoken to you in ages. It's been a thing to like talk about, really.
Yeah. And we tried to keep our reactions to this book genuine.
Yeah.
We haven't really texted about it.
Did you finish it on the weekend? Did you finish it today?
Useless.
No, it's not. I'm up until... There's been times when you text me I'm leaving and I'm still reading the book. So, like, you started something new, though, today, didn't you?
I did.
What's it called? I keep wanting to call it Look What You Made Me Do, but it's not that.
Look What You Made Me Do.
But it's not that.
It's not. How does it feel?
Yeah, we've had this recommended till the cows come home.
Yeah, by Janine O'Reilly.
Yeah. On KU, isn't it?
It is.
All of them are on KU, I think.
Well, there's 2 out of 4 so far.
Oh, right, okay.
So
okay.
the 2 that are out are on KU.
Yeah, so we've had that recommended loads.
Yeah.
The blurb, like what we've read, sounds really good.
And I sent you the dedication.
Class!
I don't hope you finish this book. I hope this book finishes you.
That's a bold statement as well. I wish I had that confidence in my writing.
I'm like,
flipping heck.
Okay, Janine.
Go off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
only read the prologue and 1 chapter.
Okay, so not much.
Her writing seems lovely.
Stunning.
From what I can gather from like the blurb, it starts in modern day world and she sort of like falls through a portal or something into a Fae realm. So at the moment she's in, real life world. So
stunning.
that's as far as I've got.
Okay. Cool.
And she's a vet or something.
Oh, that's
She's
nice.
a scientist who like tests water for like algae to try and see how fish can thrive.
Like a biologist
there.
sort of thing. That's nice.
Yeah,
An environmentalist.
But she has this turkey that she looks after.
Okay.
I can't remember the turkey's name now.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Are you reading anything?
Yeah, I'm reading Goldfinch. I'm nearly done. I've got like a third left of Goldfinch.
Are you enjoying?
Yeah, but I don't like it ain't wrapping up. And I got a third of that book left.
Wowie.
I don't know how Raven's gonna wrap it up in like a third.
If anyone can do it, Raven can.
She can, and what I will say is the spice thus far has been
spicing. I enjoyed the spice in Reign of Rose.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a second, but like, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's and from what I've heard, very different to the feedback from the Shadow and the Ember series, which we have yet to finish.
Yeah, and I just didn't start it. Do you know what it is? Those books are big books.
They are.
So I think I read, how many are there? 4. I read the first 3 back to back, and I was just like, do you know what? I need a break. And then I went straight into the Trials of the Sun Queen, or whatever that was called, which were like quite fast paced. I read the 3 of them back to back, and it just sort of like, well, I ended up reading like 7 books that month because you went away.
Yes.
So yeah, I just needed like something different.
Yeah, and I like got about 60% of the way through and was just like, oh my gosh, just like nothing's happening. And I've tried to pick it back up once. I did like a few pages and I was like, nope.
So many people are telling us like, keep going, like, and I'm like,
well, a lot of people have said as well, oh well, yeah, but it's a prequel and it sets up the main series, and it's like, well, but then why write like 4 books?
Yeah.
And apparently, I saw a really hot take TikTok about it. There was like, she only ever intended that to be 2 to 3 books max.
Okay.
And then because it did so well, was like,
I can drag this out.
Ka-ching, let's drag it out. And subsequently, that is what a lot of people have said about the final book, is like, yeah, not it. But the point I was trying to make there, sorry, was that I've heard very different about Goldfinch.
Okay.
Is that I've heard no unhappy feedback. Apparently, it concludes like excellent.
That's good.
So obviously, like, it must wrap up, like, but I'm nervous because I've got like a third left now, and stuff's happened, but like, I don't know. I'm curious, and I'm also audiobooking When the Moon Hatched, which I
gave up on it.
Well, I have DNF'd. So I've been so close to DNFing it so many times. I've persevered, and I will say I'm finally at a point now where I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying it, and I'm enjoying the storyline, and I'm starting to get it. I am 36 chapters in.
Wow.
So I don't know, it's a hard sell for me when you're telling me 36 chapters in, it starts picking up.
Yeah.
Arguably, House of Earth and Blood is the same, right? I had to force you to read that. But with House of Earth and Blood, there's a lot of world building, but then the scenes you do get of character interaction are really enjoyable. Like, you get Rune from the beginning, you get Bryce from the beginning, you get Bryce and Hunt from the beginning. It's taken 33 chapters for the first 2 characters to even interact. So only now have they just started interacting with each other. This is where I'm like, I'm being a House of Earth and Blood apologist.
Yeah, it's a big old book as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and look, maybe I'll fly through it. And because literally everyone I've spoken to, when I did that TikTok about it, everyone was like, oh my God, no, like, you cannot DNF it. It's my book of the year. And I'm like,
let's hope it gets better.
Because we were going to do it. But
yeah.
Oh, maybe we don't.
Whoops.
And before we wrap up the beginning,
the beninging,
I just want to say hello to our newest Patreon member. We're sorry this has taken so long. It's because we've been
pre-recorded,
bulked up for a while. Oh, that doesn't sound good, does it? We've been, I was going to say backed up then. That's so much worse.
I've been constipated for a while.
We've pre-recorded for quite a while, so this is the soonest we've sat down to do this. But welcome to the Inner Circle Patreon tier to Megan Jones. We added a new Patreon tier, which I don't think we've spoken about because, again, we've just been stacked up on recording. Oh my God.
Are you alright?
Can you tell it's been a while?
Yeah.
And we've added a new Patreon tier, which is called the Inner Circle. It's £5 British sterling pounds a month. I don't know what that translates to in your local currency, but it's not much.
No.
I think that's what, like $6 or something. I don't think it's that. And it basically gives you the same access as the Wingspan Aficionados, which is the £3 tier, which is all the bonus episodes, monthly bonus episodes on the Patreon.
Yeah.
But in addition, you get early access to our main channel episodes, minimum 24 hours before. Sometimes they're a bit sooner, but never any later than 24 hours before. And you'll obviously get an ad-free listen because there's no ads on our Patreon. And so welcome, Megan, to that tier. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. We'll, I don't know, send you snaps of our studio to see what your Patreon has contributed to once we've finished our new podcasting studio.
Yeah. So, the eagerly anticipated Reign of Rose.
The conclusion to the Sacred Stones trilogy.
I don't want it to be over.
I was really sad when I finished this. That's why I picked up Goldfinch, because I was literally like so depressed. I nearly started Throne of Glass reread. That's how bad my mental health was. That's how much my head was in the shed when I finished this trilogy.
Before we start, shall we read our closing thoughts from Fable?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'll do mine. Ready?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so this is mine.
Mm-hmm.
Kate has such a way with words. My heart was bursting by the end of this book. I feel like Arwen, Kane, Mary and Griffin are my friends. I feel like Lee and Ryder are my younger siblings. I'm not mad at a happy ending. I did wonder how they'd get round the prophecy, but having Arwen be a phoenix was just perfect for me. I need that Mary and Griffin novella like yesterday. The yearning, burning broodiness sends me. another fantastic piece of this trilogy in Reign of Rose, and I'm so sad to say goodbye.
So, mine was sobbing at the end of this, very mixed emotions. I'm a little sad we didn't get much Marion Griffin, but I didn't expect a whole storyline. Just a bit gutted we won't get a novella anytime soon. I'm a sucker for a happy ending, and I did like how Arwen being a phoenix meant she could survive. So sad to see this trilogy end, but also the final scene of them finding their peace had me sobbing. Some loose ends, but I'm hoping it's so she can write more in the world. Peridot for me was the 5-star in this series, but this was an absolute delight to read.
I totally agree. I think Dawn of Onyx set it up really well, and I think that was a 4-star for me.
Yeah.
Then we had Promise of Peridot, which just fucking blew my socks off, and that was a 5-star for me.
Yes.
And then I'd say that Reign of Rose is also a 4-star for me.
Same. I'm exactly the same. I think my biggest thing when I finish this book is ultimately she's wrapping up a trilogy, right? Which actually, considering how, I will say how big this world is and actually how much world building you get compared to other series, like when I think about, just not comparing, but like the These Hollow Vow duology, that's a duology, and you get world building in it, but nothing compared to the Dawn of Onyx world building. And there's only one more book, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like actually what she does in 3 books, I think is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think A Reign of Rose could ever have been a Promise of Peridot because she had to wrap up a whole storyline.
Yeah, of course.
So like I think that's one of the reasons why Peridot is probably my favourite, because you get much more time with the characters. You can have those more like fun scenes, whereas like A Reign of Rose, every scene had to mean something. So I definitely was absolutely not disappointed. No. It was perfect, but Peridot is my highlight purely because, and also because it's enemies to lovers again. Like we knew that Arwen and Kane were end goal, and that was fine in this, but like you don't have that like anticipation. Whereas like, oh my god, the yearning burning in Peridot is just stunning. And like the only people you get yearning burning with in this is Marion Griffin, and like we said, we don't
pay off.
No, and she did do an Instagram post. I thought it was a grid post, but it wasn't. It was a story literally the day I finished A Reign of Rose, and she said she is going to do a Marion Griffin novella, but it's not anytime soon. And obviously it's one of our questions for next week because we're interviewing Kate. But yeah, I'm a bit like, look, and when we say not anytime soon, that might still mean soon. We don't really know, but that was my only thing, is like I just wanted more Griffin.
Did you have a standout scene in Reign of Rose that you were like, this chapter or like this event, this part like absolutely sent me?
What, as in like loved it or like made me cry?
Well, any emotion.
I loved the scene before the really awkward like Kane fooling Arwen up when they're all sharing a room. But the scene before that, you know, when they're all just on the rooftop and they're just like spending time together, that was adorable. I loved it. And I absolutely loved the final chapter.
The final chapter was lovely.
I cried my eyes out.
Like all in the cottage together, like proper like family cozy vibes.
I literally cried my eyes out. Like I was just streaming.
Stunning.
I couldn't stop crying.
I've gone a totally different route to you with my standout
scene. You've gone spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
When they get back to Shadowhold and she's not ready to go into the keep yet, and he bangs her up against a tree.
Lovely.
Stunning.
Are we so just to like establish the spice in this, we obviously get that scene.
Yeah.
And then they have the bit of like Copperfield in the tavern.
Yeah.
Do they bang again?
In the bathtub.
Oh yeah,
she
okay.
sucks him off in the bathtub, and then when she says, I want to ride you and I want to be in control. After he proposes.
I said this to you. We actually had this conversation when you were like reading it initially.
Yeah.
For me, the spice scenes from Kane's POV, like I don't know what it is, Kate. I don't know how you do it, but there's something about the way she writes spice scenes from Kane's POV.
Filthy.
I lose my head.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, that one, and I'm sure that scene you said where she's like, I want to take control, is from Kane's POV, isn't it?
Yeah, she says, I want to try something different. And he thinks that it was really sweet though, because he thinks he's been hurting her or like dominating her. And she's like, no, I love what you do. Yeah. But like, I just want to turn. Yeah. And she was like, don't expect this all the time.
Yeah, I love it. And I know that was something in Peridot that I absolutely love. Like, because we don't get Kane POV in book 1, do we? I don't think we do.
know. Didn't she release like additional chapters after that?
Yeah, so you remember the cellar scene?
Yeah.
You get that from Kane, but that was,
yeah.
So, like, honestly, I think for me, like, the Kane chapters are my favourite. The Kane chapters in Peridot are 10 out of 10. I don't want to keep, like, harkening back to Peridot, but the commentary, I'm sure it's when they're like still not really speaking, but you know when they're in Briar's cottage and she comes into his room and oh my god, his commentary, like when, I know we've spoken about this, but when he says like she's like, do you want a cup of tea? And he's like, yeah, if I can drink it from your mouth or something like that. Like, it's so funny. So yeah, I just want more Kane chapters. For me, that was my, it's not even a complaint, I just like, just give me all the Kane chapters. I loved it.
Was lovely. Shall we talk about Lazarus? Better add, didn't we?
So when you obviously start this book and for quite a few chapters, you learn that like she's been there months and months and months, and there was like Lazarus has not gone near her, not touched her.
Strange.
Very strange.
But he has been draining her of her light and then drinking it like a fucking shot.
Disgusting. But like, he obviously, his intention was that like we end book 2 on he wants to impregnate her. So considering he's not touched her for like months and months and months, really odd. And then when she finally gets summoned and he calls her to the pool, but disgusting that he like, first of all, he's naked, then he makes her get naked. Oh, it's just fucking gross. And then that twat face witch comes in. What's her name? Octavia?
Octavia.
But we learn, right, that she's fucking Kane's mum's sister.
Haven't you got, like, you know when you read Octavia, I just think cunt. Like, that's a cunt name.
It's a cunty name, but not in a, like, serve cunt.
No.
In a, like, twat cunt.
You're horrid. And I as soon as her name was mentioned, I was like, oh, she's going to be a bitch.
Yeah, no, it is a twatty name. I'm sure I just read something where like the main character's called Octavia.
Oh, don't say that.
It's funny as fuck though. No, it's funny as fuck. Oh, he's just such a pig.
Piggy, Fae men.
He is a pig. And what like not rubs me up the wrong way, because obviously I understand why Kate did it, but when Arwen describes him as looking like Kane, so yeah, Lazarus is an absolute.
Yeah, and he's going to have his way with it in front of an audience.
He's sick as fuck.
Like, Fae men and women come in to watch.
Yeah, well, it was like in a room, wasn't it, that he'd had like designed for them to do it in.
Out the window. I'm like, imagine that. Like, I'd rather throw myself out of a window.
Lazarus was like, you know, the Am I the Arsehole Reddit threads? Like, my solstice shag threw herself out. Am I the asshole for making my false bride shag on solstice in a room while everyone watches? Then she threw herself out the window. Am I the asshole? Yes, Lazarus, you are.
You are. Big time.
But also wild that, like, Kane was there. He sees her. He goes with no intention. He goes there to kill Lazarus. No intention. He finds Arwen. And then just as she's like jumping out, she's like, feel something grab me. And it's him.
Oh, that was lovely.
Really lovely. But I wasn't okay with him hell-bent being on like, they get, obviously they like shuffle into the bushes, don't they, when they land? Then he's like, right, lovely to see you. I'm off to kill myself now. Okay, I was like, can't catch a break.
Yeah, that there, I know I'm jumping right to the end, but their fight when they're trying to get the blade off each other.
They like, and when I say they annoyed me, not in like a like it was meant like that, but they just like all they want to do is like, no, I want to die, no, I want to die, and it's like, how about we try and come to a conclusion where nobody dies, you know?
And I did think at one point, like, there's no way around this prophecy. Like, you're gonna have to spin some like good shit,
and I'm sure
to make it believable for me. And her being a phoenix was like the creme de la creme of the outcomes that
because I really didn't, because I'm sure there was a chapter either start of it or like there's a chapter where she's got internal monologue and she's saying like, I've died and come back 3 times. I can't keep like pushing fate like this. And I was like, oh my god. And also because this is Kate's like debut series, I know we've read 2 books, but like
but we don't know how she wraps things up.
We don't know if Kate's a happy ender. Like, she could have been like, nope, they die.
Arwen's dead.
Or maybe like they're both dead. Like, you know, they're both dead. Also, like, again, we jump in, but that's fine. When Kane turns himself human, to them, obviously, he eventually does become full Fae. But like, I was so scared for him.
Yeah, I was worried about him.
And he was grumpy when he was human.
I have to walk like a peasant.
Literally,
and be cold.
he was tamping. Like, I'm getting cold, everything fucking hurts, I'm slow, and it's like, but he's just funny. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he is hilarious. Do you know a character that I loved in this? There's a new character, so we haven't seen them in any other books.
Oh, was it Higard?
Oh, Wynne. I did like him, but that's not who I was on about. I loved Wynne.
Oh, I loved Wynne. He was lovely.
Amazing. Acorn's mum.
Oh my fucking God. Yeah, that made me cry when it was his mum.
So sweet. And
so sweet.
Lazarus had blinded her to make her more angry, and Arwen healed her.
Heals her, I know.
She came to join the fight.
I know.
Do you think Alexander the Hemolik is hot?
Yes, yeah. I think I put it in my comments. We had loads of new characters in this. Alexander the Hemolik, and also
Art.
Which I'm not mad about introducing new characters into the last book, but they were such interesting characters that I was like, I want more. I am curious. Because there was somebody in our Fable group, I'm really sorry, I can't remember who it was. One of their like wrap up comments was they weren't overly keen on like, why did Alexander request that if Kane and Arwen were to ever have a daughter, that she'd have to go spend time. It was all a bit weird. I genuinely think she's leaving herself material to carry on with.
Yeah, Renwick Hart as king. Like, I need more on, like, because obviously the realm is sealed.
And also he's got to marry, so the agreement was
Federic's sister.
What kingdom was that?
Citrine?
Not Peridot.
No,
Citrine. He's got to marry the princess of Citrine, which like Kane didn't tell him. He was like, I'm just going to surprise him with it.
They can't get there.
No, really. I think I really hope that's intentional. So she's got a lot of material to write.
Well, Griffin and Mary for one.
People are chomping at the bit for that. Yeah. I'm chomping at the bit for it.
Yeah.
Mary in this, not that she ever isn't, absolute fucking delight.
We had some really like poignant deaths in this as well, because we always say like if there's big wars and whatever, if there's no realistic sacrifice, it kind of makes it unrealistic then. But Dagon's death while he was saving Lee and what's the little seer girl's name?
Is it Beth?
Beth.
Yeah.
As he's saving Beth and Lee, like and then his letter, his wedding day letter
sent me. I'd forgotten about that. I knew he was going to die.
Oh, okay.
Like when I came into it, I was like, if we're going to have some like sacrifice, like deaths that kind of like need to happen, Dagon would have been my number one.
Oh, I was really sad though. And then his wedding day letter.
That sent me, that
awful. Did. And then Briar's death
really shocked me.
Yeah, and like transferring her spell to Mary.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like she's got so much to work with here. I really hope she runs with it because there's so much intrigue and so many questions around Mary and the whole coven thing.
Yeah, well, I will say, I think this trilogy is getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are reading it. So I hope it will just fuel her to want to carry on writing it. Because
100%.
You know, us as readers feel so connected to the characters. So I can't imagine how connected she feels as the writer. So hopefully there's more to come.
Give us what we want, Kate. A Marion Griffin book.
And just another $10 on top.
And Alexander.
Oh,
he was hot.
Yeah,
because it kept saying like when that scene when he meets up with Arwen and he like and they're like, gross. He licks the blood off the snow, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm supposed to find him hot.
But boy, like, you got me.
Do you know what he gave me? Again, it's like not comparison, but he gave me. You know, I can't remember his name from Battle and Blood. King of Battle and Blood. What's his name? Adrian. Like hot blonde vampire daddy. Yes, please. Absolute delight. We did, though, I will say, although we didn't maybe get the wrap up of Marion Griffin that we thought we would, actually, we got so much Griffin character development. Griffin, Kane says, for the first time ever in his entire life, losing his cool and punching people because they like go near Mary. And Griffin says, and Kane says, like, I've known this man since I was like a child. I've never seen him lose his shit.
When he grips Amelia's hair and forces her to the floor.
Yeah. Big yikes. Yeah. But also like
Griffin.
But then when they go to that like nightclub saloon to go find Alexander, and he punches the bouncer because he shoves Mary.
Yeah.
Wild.
Mental.
I loved it. And in the final scene, you do get like a bit more. I'm sure it's mentioned that like Griffin and Mary are like bantering a little bit.
Yeah. And he like smirks and then like schools his face back to like.
And I can understand like why Griffin and Mary probably didn't happen in this book, because not so much Mary, but Griffin as a character has got a lot of issues.
Oh yeah, needs therapy.
Deeply. So I think that like obviously he's not just gonna like 360 on Mary, also 180 on Mary in one book.
Yeah.
I do understand that like they deserve a book of their own. Like it wouldn't have done them justice to wrap them up in this. So I do understand it, but like I just need more of them.
Agreed.
We also got a we also got a segment. We went to a different kingdom.
Are we talking about Rose?
We are talking about Rose.
That was going to be my next point.
Which I really enjoyed, right?
Yeah.
But this is my only qualm, right? My only thing is I don't see what it added to the plot.
So I think that they had to go to Rose to be able to get to Alexander, who essentially came and helped them win the war.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I do get what you mean.
But that fucking decaying, batshit crazy queen.
Yeah, wild.
Like her fingernail falling off while she was stirring her tea.
Yeah, do you know what it was for me? I don't mind that, like, ultimately there was, like, it all kind of went a bit wrong.
Yeah.
I think it was just almost a bit too quick.
Yeah.
I think I just wanted a bit more time there. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, because you know when it happens in Citrine, we get a bit more time in Citrine. Yeah. But then again, it's a final book. She's got to wrap it up. I do understand. But
the little bookkeeper who didn't want to help them.
Yeah, so they tried to get the ledger
forged
so that she would
have a list of names of people that didn't exist.
Am I right in saying that like
there's like an uprising against her?
Yeah, so Alexander helped her out in her civil war.
Yeah.
And that's why she kind of keeps him hidden, allows him to like go.
Yeah, because everyone thinks of them as like monsters, basically.
Because they were the ones, or Alexander was the one that basically turned over like the rebellion to Kane when Kane. That's how like Kane's mum and brother got killed, right? Was like he was the one, he exchanged his people's freedom for information. Yeah. So yeah, like it was the ledger with all was it the rebels' names? Yeah. I don't know. I think it was the fact that it came to like nothing, you know, it didn't like benefit. But then I suppose we had that in book 2 when they go look for was it called the sword, the sun sword? Was it called?
Blade of the Sun.
The Blade of the Sun, and that ultimately doesn't, like when they go looking for in that cave in Peridot and then like nothing.
Yeah, but they have it in the end. She kills him with it.
Yeah, but in Peridot, like it doesn't pan out, does it? So I suppose that was the same. But yeah, she was crazy, that lady.
Mental. And like just, I don't know, the way she spoke and like...
really weird.
Yeah.
And...
strange energy.
Really bizarre. Yeah, really weird.
And like her clumps of hair falling out, her fingernail falling off.
Yeah, she was a really odd character.
Yeah.
And also, I think it was really interesting to get a new city in Rose.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that was so vivid, the way it was described.
I agree.
I think I enjoyed it so much, I just wanted more time there. You know how like when they were in Peridot and like Arwen and Mary like went out for the night, and I just kind of wanted a bit more.
Yeah.
Well, and Hart.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
And Valerie, his witch.
Yes, from the Antler Coven.
Yes.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, proper schmoozer.
It was just so funny.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I've shagged her.
Shagged her.
Oh, who are you talking about? Nah, shagged her.
Yeah, he was hilarious. And I, like, again, I think it's so enjoyable when you get characters like that up against Kane. Like, to see that dynamic.
Yeah.
Kane actually ended up kind of liking him.
Yeah. It was refreshing. And obviously he's going to be king now.
Yeah, great. Wild that Kane didn't want it. That's how I saw it ending.
Yeah.
I didn't see it ending with them going back to Onyx.
Yeah.
Oh, that was something I wanted to bring up that I didn't understand, and maybe you might. Did it imply that when she dies, before she comes back as a phoenix, she speaks to her dead dad?
Well, he's not dead, is he? He's a god.
So we knew that, didn't we?
Yeah, because we find that's how she's full-blooded.
Is that her mum, and then her mum says that, like, I think her mum says before she dies in book 2, or the end of book 1, I can't remember, that like it was just a one-night stand, and I fell in love and we slept together and that was it.
Yeah.
But then when she's talking about seeing her dad, the Fae god, it says it looks like the Onyx King, doesn't it?
No. It says that his power made Onyx.
Oh,
so that
right.
she's the rightful heir of Onyx.
So, yeah, maybe this is where I should have like read up on my world building lore. So is it that the Fae gods made each of the realms?
Yeah, because it said he was one of 9.
Oh, okay. And they all were like the different.
Yeah.
So then the White Crow, whatever he was called.
Yeah, fuck knows what he was.
But he was a Fae god. Isn't that said that he's a Fae god? Because that's what I thought it was. I thought he was going to be her dad.
No.
And I was like, oh.
Maybe whatever territory that was in. Maybe he's the...
I see. So he was the Onyx, like, Fae god. And there was a Fae god that effectively made each of the... Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
And she's the rightful heir to Phonics.
To Onyx.
Yeah, to Onyx.
Ah, okay. That just confused me a little bit. That scene did. I was a bit like... Oh.
At first, I'll tell you what I thought was happening.
Okay.
Though she'd woken up without her memories and that it was Kane that she was talking to.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, she's alive, but she doesn't remember anyone.
No.
And then
obviously it wasn't. Yeah, I loved the whole coming back as a phoenix. Like, when I say loophole, again, not in a negative, but like, how do you get around?
Mary saying phoenixes rise from the ash. I was like, oh, I love it.
So she did die. Yeah. Like, she did die, fulfilled the prophecy. Like, she was killed. But obviously,
like a phoenix, she rose from the ashes.
It was lovely.
It was lovely.
Because I kept thinking, like, when they were fighting at the end, her and Lazarus, and she still hadn't, like, used her like, she shifted and used her wings. And I was like, come on, because...
Yeah. I know. I think one of my comments was like, I'm so glad she got to fly before she died. Because obviously I thought she was dead.
Yeah, dead, yeah.
And then she wasn't.
Yeah.
And now she's pregnant.
Oh,
that little epilogue, like,
stunning. Like Lee playing out in the garden, her calling her in for dinner and stuff. I just so happy they have their peace. Like, it was lovely.
And Kane saying, like, I want to love something from your land as much as you love clover bread from my land.
Oh my! I was going to go have a look at my highlighted notes. They're probably all going to just be horny comments, but you know, why not?
Smut.
So my first highlight is Kane saying, "Get a hold of yourself. You can't rage at the seasons," which is just 10 out of 10. And then I have Kane. It was a beautiful night to die.
That's when he goes to Lumera and before he sees her and realizes she's alive. That's another really sad thing we haven't talked about. They all think she's dead and they all genuinely believe she's dead.
Literally heartbreaking.
And then when he sees her and she's kissing Lazarus the first time he sees her,
when they first reunite and Kane says, "My love," he murmured, "I'm here. It would be such a disservice to my grief to say that I've missed you."
Oh, he's a poetic god.
Kane saying to Hart, "I hope they leave out how many powerful women you fucked." Hart beamed, "I don't."
Because they say they're going to write a song about them.
Yeah. Arwen, "I changed silently, careful not to disturb either of my sleeping winged boys."
Oh, about him and Acorn. Oh, that's when he gets up and she's not in the room and he thinks something's happened.
And then he says, "That instant, where the fuck is my wife?"
Yeah, and then she's not even his wife.
No.
Presumptuous.
They have a wedding.
Oh my God, we get the wedding.
They got a fucking wedding.
I don't know I don't know what happened in this chapter, but I've written Mary and Griffin forever. Another one from me. I bet Alexandra is sexy as fuck. This is what I wrote after the wedding scene. Lazarus knows how to ruin a party. Cunt.
Yeah, but he does though.
What a prick.
Yeah, why innit? Like,
he ruins Solstice by trying a bloody bed with an audience.
And then she jumps out a window.
Yeah, throws herself out of a window.
And then when they get married, he jumps in through the window.
Yeah. Poetic.
This is from the spicy scene. "All control, all dignity abandoned me. I take a beating twice over to lick her clean. If she choked me with them, I'd probably come." This is what I mean by I fucking love the Kane.
Like, same Kane, same.
Honestly. "After I had more fun trapped inside a wine cellar than I've had in 200 years of living."
When he said that, like, it was a quote that she told him that day. and he relayed it, and sorry, that he had a crown made for it after that night in the wine cellar.
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
Yeah. Everything about this book was just like...
And do you know what I love is that Kane is like moody, broody, angry king, like dark, thorns coming up my hands. But with Arwen, he loves her so much. Like, it's like bursting out of him. Oh, it's beautiful.
He's only nice to Arwen, and then anyone who, like, basically just psychotic with everyone else.
Oh my God,
he's still like a psychotic nutter, but he's so territorial.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
Possessive.
The proposal... I cried more at the proposal than I did the wedding.
Yeah,
not that I didn't enjoy the
agree.
wedding, but like I was just knew like something was coming. The proposal, I cried my eyes out. I literally sobbed.
Beautiful.
Sobbed my eyes out.
But like, she's like, he hasn't come back for a while, and then
she's so scared.
Yeah, and the guards like have got like guilty faces, and
Yeah.
she's like, he's leaving me. He's gonna go and kill him.
Yeah,
and then like he's
because
under
she
all
says
the
that's
fairy
what
lights.
he does that in book 1, doesn't he?
And then he's under all the fairy lights.
We do get, sorry, I'm jumping now, but we do get a bit of resolution, one with Amelia and also her brother. I'm going to come out and say this, that Ryder, he's a bit of a twat, I'm not going to lie. And I know he's young and that's kind of the point, and Kane really doesn't like him.
Really doesn't like him.
And I get it, but like... But then I suppose the only scenes we get of like Ryder's sympathy are from Arwen's perspective, and she's a sister, so she's always going to apologise, and Kane gives him a fucking earful. Like,
but he does throw himself on top of Mary and Beth to stop Octavia getting to them. They're only shielded by Ryder's body.
Yeah.
You know, and he would
Lee
have
and
died.
Beth, you mean, sorry.
What did I say?
Mary and Beth.
Oh, sorry.
No,
yeah.
no, but yeah, I
Lee and
agree.
Beth.
Yeah, no, I do agree. He's just like a knob, isn't he?
Yeah, and the fact that like he's like, oh, actually, I'm not a warrior, and now I'm going to go and teach woodwork.
Which is fine, but like, I could have fucking told you that. And then Amelia, again, I like not felt bad for her, but I do... It's not okay that she did what she did. But like, you can sort of like...
How many times has something happened in a book and the female main character has like damned them all to save her people, and we're like, yeah, go girl. And that's all Amelia was doing. If Amelia was the FMC, we would be, yeah, get it. Like, look after your people, save your country. So it's just because we're seeing it from somebody else's perspective and she's wronging our FMC.
And
they're going to go and have like peace talks, and Ryder's like, oh, I think I should come. Fuck off, Ryder.
Also, City thinks that she's still interested. Like,
she used you for information, babe.
Literally, that was all it was for. Yeah, agreed. And also, had Amelia been a different character, like maybe the instant, like the way your brain works, you wouldn't be like, is it because she's... It's always spoken about that her biggest like hang up is that she wants to be queen. Her dad has never seen her fit for it, and like, agreed. Like, if that was roles reversed and she was our FMC, I think your opinion would be completely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did like, it's not okay what she did, but I was like, I get it.
And like, I don't know, she's redeemed herself, hasn't she? Like, she's
100%. She tried her best. She did as much as she could.
She got the blade, and that's the only thing that killed Lazarus. So in the end, she's pivotal to the story.
Yeah, there would be no end of the story if it weren't for her. So I completely agree. There was something else. Oh, one scene, sorry, completely random, it just sticks in my brain. They're looking for, I can't remember, they're in Mary's cottage looking for something.
Looking they've got, for the ledger.
Is that what it is? And they've got like everything pulled out. And then at one point, like, Arwen says she like opens a drawer and there's like cooking books, and Mary says something like, oh no, this is where I put this. And then like Arwen says like, I'm so honoured to call this girl my best friend because she's so chaotic, and she says like, I'm honoured to call this person my best friend. I just love it. Their
and like there's books in her knicker drawer, and
so yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, a cooking book in her knicker drawer.
And Griffin like feels really uncomfortable, so he goes to stand outside.
He's so weird, but I love it. I love how weird he is.
Yeah, and then the book's under her bed. She's like, oh, I knew I'd put it somewhere safe. I'm like, babe, nowhere in here is safe.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I love how much Arwen loves her chaos.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's adorable.
Yeah, because once she is like reborn from the ashes, obviously she grips onto Kane, but then she throws herself into Mary's arms, and they have a really long hug where it's just her and Mary, and it's not Kane that she goes for. And I thought that was really poignant, that like it was Mary that she wanted to hold on to, like this person that she's only known for a couple of months, but like was her only friend really when she got to Shadowhold.
Yeah.
Well, the only friend she's really ever had, other than Cunty Haldan, who tried to kill her.
Ugh. Yeah. What
Glad he wasn't in this book.
so glad that he wasn't in that book.
Do you know what? Right, even though I've only just read it, when we do these, like, it's almost like I'm reading the book again and I fall back in love with the story all over again, like listening to our points.
And honestly, when I finished it, I was like so gutted, and not because it delivered tenfold.
No, yeah, I agree.
I'm just so sad this is.
But like, I don't know. That's the beauty of writing, innit? You feel like these characters are your friend. Well, it's like when you finish a TV show and you're like, oh, all my friends are gone. But
I think I have more of a connection to books than I do a TV show.
Because you're reading all their feelings and like, I don't know, I think books compared to films and TV shows, like, you take in so much more. Like, every little detail is written out for you, whereas when you're watching something on TV, you have to sort of read the emotions on their face and whatever. But in books, you get that in like, you actually know how they're feeling.
Yeah, 100%. I know. I'm just...
Beautiful.
I'm so excited that she's already announced that she's got something new coming. We'll talk about it next week, but like, I'm so excited about her new project. It sounds fucking amazing. We love her to bits. She's fab, but I'm just... just so sad. It's just sad that like my 5-star read of the year has come to an end.
Trilogy is done. Would you read more books by this author?
Like in... Yes.
Yesterday.
Like, Kate could serve me a mouldy piece of bread on a plate and I would eat it up. Thanks, Kate. What did you rate this?
4 stars. 4 big, fat, glowing stars.
Me too. 4 big, fat, glowing stars. As a series...
5-star series.
5-star series, without a doubt. Like, I agree with you with the 4-star Onyx, 5-star Peridot, like, without a doubt, and then 4-star for this. 5-star series. We'll recommend it till the cows come home. Yeah. We do anyway. Yeah. Like, we nag everyone. I think Grace has just about started it, I think, maybe. And has Caitlin started it?
Well, she bought it.
Oh, I can't remember.
I know she bought the Bridge Kingdom.
We just nag on about this series, but it's so good.
Just keep banging that drum.
Oh, I think Grace is audiobooking it, maybe.
Yes.
I think.
I'm sorry, Promise of Peridot, big fat 5-star. If you can write smut and strip poker and pirates and fae and underwater worlds and everything else we get in one book, like, that's an instant 5-star in my opinion.
Promise of Peridot became an instant 5-star with the quote, "I'll show you what I fucking get off on." Because when I read that, it was like 2 a.m. I was like, I need to go to bed. I was like, right, one more chapter, I'm going to sleep. And then I got that and I was just like,
okay, I'm not going to sleep tonight.
And we get a shower wank. Which...
incredible.
Apparently now we get viral clips talking about shower wanks.
Sorry, Mom.
We always talk about like what was going to be the clip of the podcast that went viral. And like, of course, is us talking about shower wanks.
In our Welsh accents that everyone seems to love.
Carriage bang, shower wank.
Yeah.
So tune in next week for
both of us crying for an hour.
I'm going to be so like we lose our heads with author interviews because we get so nervous. Like,
we're like Dumb and Dumber.
We're literally like, okay, bye, thanks, bye. And it's like literally because we're just so starstruck. We're trying to be less cardboardy when it comes to our author interviews.
Yeah, we're trying to loosey-goosey a bit, which I do feel like we were with Camilla Andrew. I feel like we tried to like let the conversation flow better.
Yeah, I feel like the more we've done, the better we've got. Yeah. Although we might go right back to square one with Kate because we're so like,
how would you describe your next book?
Yeah.
Be like Fae learning to read.
I think as well, do you know what, right? This is such a... But if we ever did one in person, I think we'd do well.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's more that it's on Zoom, isn't it?
It would be more like,
fun. Anyway, so next week we've got Kate Golden.
We do.
Finally, it's happening. And then the week after that, TBC, only because we recorded it, we just TBC on the title of the podcast. And then the week after, which is like the second week of November, I think, we've updated our fable already, but we are starting The Serpent and the Wings of Night.
Yay! Are you going to reread it?
Yeah, I am. I think if I have time, I am going to reread it, yeah. And then our November Patreon will be...
Six Scorched Roses.
6 Scorched Roses. So we're taking a little break from ACOTAR, but we will resume after. And then after that is Metal Slinger.
And then after that is Rachel Schneider.
Metal Slinger. Fucking Metal Slinger.
Blow my mind, Metal Slinger.
Blow my mind. Blew my... Never mind. Where was I going with that? I don't know where I was going with that. Where was that going? I was going to say, blew my ass.
I thought you were going to say blow my knickers off.
Well, yeah, I think that's what we should have said. Blew my knickers off.
Oh, we'll be boring again soon.
Yeah, don't worry. Metal Slinger. Words, I haven't got words
You were
for
going to
it.
say worst. I thought you were going to be like worst book ever.
No, best book ever.
Yeah.
It's
My
thus
read of the year.
Yeah, thus far it's my read of the year. But like obviously we've got I can't see anything. But then I didn't see Metal Slinger coming along, and
yeah.
So who knows? Like, but thus far my read of the year.
Well, we have got more author spotlights to do this year, so
we have.
You never know.
So our Metal Slinger author spotlight's coming at the end of October.
Yeah.
Okay, which is the 28th. I think it's Monday the 28th.
Yes.
That's our spoiler-free episode.
Yeah.
And we always intended to do this on our main channel anyway, but it's just been bumped up because we both now finished it and we're now obsessed, so we need to talk about it. Metal Slinger will be 2 weeks after Kate Golden interview on the main channel.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a full deep dive spoiler, getting into it. And then the week after that, Rachel Schneider, who is the author of Metal Slinger, because if anyone has read Metal Slinger, you'll agree with us that, like, you've got some questions.
Oh, yes.
Oh, have we got fucking questions for Rachel? Right, anything else? Bloody hell.
I don't know.
I think that's it.
My head's gone.
Yeah. Right.
Are we done? Thanks so much for listening.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at a pod of Smut and Wingspan.
See you next week.
Bye.